G'day cocktail lovers, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. For today's cocktail recipe, going to mark World Cognac Day, which is on June 4th. These somewhat arbitrary days seem to get allocated to all sorts of things, and honestly some of the more famous spirits and beverages around the world deserve their own day far more than some of the things that are given their own day, like Heimlich Maneuver Day. Who wants to celebrate the Heimlich Maneuver? I don't know. Celebrating cognac seems like more fun, quite honestly. Now, I actually found this recipe when I was searching for some Irish whiskey cocktail recipes. I think Irish whiskey is an underappreciated ingredient for cocktails, and I was searching for some good options, and this one has an even amount of cognac and Irish whiskey in it. And as I was researching some elements, it turns out there's some interesting correlations between the two. For a start, the name of the cocktail that I found was called Parlez Vous Irish. And I thought, okay, well, if you're going to do the Parlez Vous for the French part, the cognac, and you're just going to say Irish in English for the Irish whiskey, the Irish should be said in Irish. And fortunately, I have a friend, one of my oldest YouTube friends, Franklin, is a fluent speaker of the Irish language, and he helped me out. It's Gaeilge, so this should be, notwithstanding my appalling pronunciations, this cocktail is the Parlez Vous Gaeilge. And the other thing that I found interesting when I was going, okay, I'm going to tell people, what's cognac? How's it different to brandy? Because cognac is a type of brandy, but it has very specific rules that you must follow in order to be allowed to call your drink cognac. It has to be from the region, the cognac region in France, and it has to be specific grapes, it has to be double distilled in a very specific way, and it's a double distilled wine. Apparently the base wine that it usually comes from is regarded as being quite undrinkable, but you double distill it and you end up with a base that's known as eau de vie. It's usually about 70% alcohol, and then you can, by the time you complete your processing, cognac will usually be around 40% alcohol. And as I said, at eau de vie, French for water of life, coincidentally, if you didn't know, whiskey is an anglicisation of the Irish escabata, which I probably, again, pronounced it terribly, which is water of life. So the two prime components of this cocktail are two different countries' idea of the water of life. That seems particularly fitting. I could have gone with a much simpler cognac recipe, like one of my all-time favourites, the sidecar, which is cognac and an orange liqueur and lemon juice. But I thought, you know, if you're going to celebrate Cognac Day, we'll do something a bit more involved. And the recipe did call for VSOP, which I do actually happen to have. If you've ever wondered what that means, you'll see that on cognacs and brandies. VS stands for very special, which means the youngest grapes, because it's almost always a mix of grapes in the brandies. The youngest grapes have been matured for at least 2 years. VSOP means very superior old pale, which frankly I find really bizarre. Putting OP when you're talking about spirits, to me, always means overproof. But in this one, for some reason, very superior old pale means the youngest grapes were matured at least 4 years. You also get XO, which is extra old, where the youngest is at least 6 years. And of course, the snobs will tell you, well, the more it's matured, the better it is. That's honestly a matter of personal taste in my book. But I'm going to follow the instructions and go for a VSOP. It's also got Irish whiskey, as I was saying. Also has Benedictine D.O.M and an orange liqueur. It was recommending Grand Marnier, but you know, you might have Cointreau or another like orange curacao. It's basically an orange liqueur. So it's got a few ingredients. It's a stirred cocktail, so let's get to it. We're starting out with 1 ounce, 30 mils of our cognac. We add to that the same amount, 1 ounce, 30 mils of our other water of life, Irish whiskey, and just half the amount of the Benedictine, 15 mils, and again 15 mils of our orange liqueur. We're going to stir that for about 20 seconds, chill the drink, little dilution. The recipe also suggested either half an ounce of chilled water or actually have a chunk of ice in the drink. And then add a little bit of ice in the drink rather than doing the half shot of chilled water. We now strain that into our chilled coupe glass. You have that lovely amber colour because basically all of the ingredients are either amber or clear. And let's give it a taste. Oh, it's a really nice balance of the different elements. The great flavours of the cognac, Irish whiskey, which is not peaty or smoky like Scotch whiskey is, complements that well, and you're getting nice herbal elements from the Benedictine, which is a herbal liqueur, and the fruity notes from our orange liqueur. This is altogether a really well balanced drink, and I think it's quite suitable for celebrating Cognac Day. A bit cross-cultural, the Parlez Vous Gaeilge, celebrating the water of life from France and from Ireland. And to you, I say, I hope your day is filled with life. Actually drink some water as well, not just what we affectionately call the water of life. We got to stay hydrated, not just drink cocktails all the time. I hope you like that recipe. If you try it, I'd love to hear what it's like for you, because obviously there are a lot of cognacs and there are a lot of Irish whiskies, and they're all going to add their own elements to it. I'd be interested if you try it yourself. Let me know in the comments. And hey, if it's the first time visiting, please subscribe to the channel so you find out when I'm getting new videos. Of course, ring the little bell that YouTube makes you do so you get notifications. I hope to see you again soon. I hope you take care. And as I mark World Cognac Day, I'll leave you with cheers.